10 hours we are sworn in. By 14 hours, the Kwacha will appreciate against the dollar. By 14 hours.
Welcome to Zambia Today Television, where stories unfold. And today we're diving into a hot topic that's been making waves across the nation: Vice President Mutale Nalumango's recent comments regarding President Hakainde Hichilema's promises about the exchange rate.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and I would like to thank the Honourable Member from Kaika for this important question. He says I'm on record. I can refuse if I want. But
during a recent Vice President's questions and answers session, Nalumango addressed concerns raised by Makaika Member of Parliament, Peter Ferry. In her response, she categorically denied that President Hichilema ever pledged to reduce the exchange rate to 5 Zambian Kwacha to the US dollar while in opposition.
To ask a question to Her Honor. Your Honor, the Vice President, you are on record to say that your government has fulfilled 80% of the promises to the Zambian people. Now, when I look at major promises like the exchange rate, it is still high at 27. When you promised the Zambian people that immediately you are sworn in, by 14 hours, it will be 10 hours. It will be 10 kwacha. And also the cost of meal.
Honorable Minister, may you ask your question?
Thank you so much, Mr. Speaker. My question is, what is it that you have delivered, Your Honor, to achieve that 80%? When most of the promises are not yet achieved by your people, and Zambian people are still waiting, and 2026 is just around the corner. Thank you so much.
I honor the Vice President.
thank you, Mr. Speaker, and I would like to thank the Honourable Member from Kaika for this important question. He says I'm on record. I can refuse if I want, but 80% of achievements. I think it is important to go back to our own manifesto. And you want to say we said it will be the exchange rate will be 10 kwacha. No, please. You never read anywhere 10 kwacha. Let us face this thing. Honourable Member for my son, you better get, maybe what I'll do is bring my manifesto one day and then we start ticking. But then why are you referring to not reaching 80%? Because it's 80% of our promises. And the example you have given, number one, it could be one of the 20%. But the example you have given, Honourable Member from Kaika, was never in our manifesto. It was never in our manifesto. You can never, it doesn't matter how upset you get, you can never stand here or anywhere and say the exchange rate will be 2 kwacha or 100 kwacha. That is always fluctuating. Ask him, including yourself. I ask you, it fluctuates. So who can make such a promise and say we will put it at 8 kwacha? Huh?
Honorable members,
and I say the truth all the time.
When the Vice President is responding, you should be attentive, because even Zambians are listening to what she's responding to. May Her Honor continue.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I will always endeavor to say the truth. You may not agree.
This statement has certainly stirred up controversy, especially since many voters remember Hichilema's campaign promise to stabilize the Kwacha during the 2021 elections. This pledge resonated with citizens struggling with a rising cost of living and a volatile currency.
10 hours we are sworn in. By 14 hours, the Kwacha will appreciate against the dollar. By 14 hours. How? Because the market, the financial market, the foreign exchange market, works on a number of factors, whether the exchange rate goes down or up. One of the factors is what is called confidence. You can't touch it, but I know it exists. You know it exists. It's called confidence. The market now will be confident that there's a new leadership of the UPND alliance, which has a vision, which has a capacity, policies to implement policies, right policies, capacity to implement the policies. The market reacts immediately.
As a key part of his economic agenda, Hichilema's commitment to bringing the exchange rate down to 5 kwacha was a cornerstone of his appeal to voters. Yet, Nalumango's comments suggest a significant shift in the government's narrative.
10 kwacha. No, please. You never read anywhere 10 kwacha. Let us face this thing. Honorable member for my son, you better get, maybe what I'll do is bring my manifesto one day and then we start ticking.
The backlash has been swift, with critics like Zambia Must Prosper leader, Kelvin Fube, labeling Nalumango's statement as an outright lie. He argues that the promise of a more stable exchange rate was a repeated assurance from Hichilema during his time in opposition.
I heard the comment by the Republican Vice President, Nalumango, in Parliament, where she was saying that the UPND did not promise to reduce the rate of the dollar. And she quoted their manifesto as a document in which such a pronouncement was not made. Let us be very clear. We should not take the Zambians for granted. During the time when the UPND was in opposition, the president of UPND, Hakainde Hichilema, was very emphatic and categorical. He made a policy statement and promised the Zambians that the UPND was going to reduce the rate of the dollar. And he also ensured that the Zambians believed that statement by giving a timeline within which such a thing was going to happen. The answers that are being given by Nalumango are just answers where someone is trying to duck a promise which was made to the Zambians. The Zambians were promised, and when they went to vote, that was one of the things that was at the back of their minds. They believed that Hakainde Hichilema, being an economist, had this in the bag. Second, Hakainde Hichilema, in that interview, if I remember very well, was saying the thing that was going to help reduce the rate of the dollar was confidence, that the donors were going to have confidence in his leadership. He says two things, confidence and credibility, things that you cannot touch, which is true. You can't touch those things. But he overrated himself. He thought that the dollar would fall, or the rate of the dollar would fall, simply because he's in power. They have learned the hard way. Well, in Zambia, let's be clear about the kind of leaders we are going to be choosing. By UPND, I keep insisting they are liars. And it's so sad that Nalumango has also joined the column of liars. Nalumango, stick to the truth. What you said in Parliament was a lie because your president promised the Zambians.
The issue of the exchange rate is critical for many Zambians, especially as the kwacha continues to face pressure against major currencies. The promise of a 5 kwacha exchange rate remains unfulfilled, causing growing frustration among the populace. Thank you for joining us today on Zambia Today Television. Don't forget